Hello pilots and welcome back to another X-Wing flight video brought to you by Out of Art Gaming. As always, my name is Phil and today we have Empire versus Scum, and it's an old school looking Empire list. Lots and lots and lots of TIE fighters that I have to try and chew through. This is going to be an interesting and fun matchup. It's myself versus Wes. We have 20 points of ships on the table as always, but there are a lot of TIE fighters over there. Whilst we're getting the board set up, let's have a run through of those lists. So 7 TIE fighters. Starting at the top, we've got Howlrunner with Swarm Tactics, Snapshot and Precision Ion Engines. Howlrunner is going to be key for those rerolls. Mauler Mithel with Elusive and Heavy Laser Cannon. Scourge Skutu with Swarm Tactics and Precision Ion Engines. Swarm Tactics, great choice when you've got some lower initiatives. Really going to start getting those dice thrown out there quickly. Meeko with Snapshot and Heavy Laser Cannon. Gideon Hask with Deadeye Shot, Elusive, Proton Rockets and Munitions Failsafe. He is going to be an absolute battering ram. And 2 Academy pilots, both with Precision Ion Engines. So a lot of ships to chew through. Not a single shield in evidence on Wes's side, but again, still a lot to chew through. And as we know, the TIE fighters are notorious for rolling quite good on their evades. So gonna have to try and get through all of that, see what I can do. But to try and handle this large swarm of TIE fighters, we have on my side Captain Nim in the Scourge bomber with Cutthroat, Dorsal Turret, Veteran Turret Gunner, Thermal Detonators, Ablative Plating, Havoc, Fire Control System and Genius Astromech on there. Currently flying solo down towards the mid of the board. We've also got Drea Renthal in the Y-Wing with Dorsal Turret and Thermal Detonators, looking to take advantage of the rerolls in the firing arc there for all non-limited ships. We've got Bosk in the Z95 with Expert Handling and Cluster Missiles, looking to get in there and hopefully break up this swarm. We've got Palab Gadali in the Hawk 290 with Cutthroat, Kira, Seismic Charges, Deadman Switch and the Mouldy Crow title. And rounding out the list, and I promise we didn't know we were coming up against 7 TIE fighters, we brought a TIE fighter of our own. We've got Lapin in the Modified Mining Guild TIE fighter with Deadeye Shot, Heavy Laser Cannon and the Targeting Computer. So, big old lot of ships on the table, 1 medium, 11 small base ships, and it is assault at the satellite array is the mission for this. So my medium base ship also could come in very handy later in the game. So far looks like we've got a 6 ship swarm with a lone rider on Wes's side. Again, if they get into a really good position and can start laying down that fire, that's a lot of damage that could be output there. I mean, as I said, we've got Howlrunner in there, who is, if you're running a swarm of TIE fighters, Howlrunner is almost a must. So while a friendly ship at range 0 to 1 performs a primary attack, that ship may reroll 1 attack die. Considering these ships can't natively get a target lock, that is very, 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 very handy when you are, let's say, range 2, you're throwing out 12 dice in total there. You've got those rerolls from Howlrunner with your focuses. That's going to be really handy. So, clearly looking a bit scary for Nim there, who has decided, no, thank you, I don't really want to be right in the middle of all that mess, and is moving off away. Honestly, I think that my devices are going to be key in this, dropping those thermal detonators and seismic charges to try and disrupt what Wes is going to want to do is going to be key, but I'm going to have to really push it down across the board to get into that fight. And I think looking at Wes's list, first is first, I think the two key targets to take out are Howlrunner and Gideon. Howlrunner, because of the rerolls, it's such a great ability, so powerful. She's right there in the front of the swarm, so going to be able to pass off those rerolls to everyone bar Gideon at this point. But Gideon being I4 is such a nice spot for him to be when you've got swarm tactics. Essentially, you can make 5 of those ships I5, pound them into one ship, and then Gideon comes in whilst it's damaged and gets that extra dice. With a procket, that could mean a 6 dice procket from Gideon there. That's scary. That's taking out most ships. And my ships don't have a huge abundance of evades either. Most ships only having 2 evades. Lapin has 3, but Drea and Nim only have 1 evade dice each. So they could get hurt quite quickly in this. So gotta have to be thinking, right, who am I going to take out first? Points wise, Howlrunner again, 4 points. There's a big point score there. Most of Wes's ships are only 3 points, so I'm not going to be scoring a lot of points for taking them out. And 3 evade dice, I'm going to have to put in a lot of effort to take them out. So we shall see how this all ends up. Conversely, on my side, Nim and Palob, big point scoring there for Wes if you can take them out. And Drea with the rerolls is always going to be quite a scary, something that Wes is going to likely want to take out. And just to clarify, with Drea's ability, while a friendly non-limited ship forms an attack if the defender is in your firing arc, the attacker may reroll 1 attack die. Such a good ability. When you stick a Dorsal Turret on there and you have essentially a 180 arc, you're going to get a lot of coverage with that. And as well, you'll notice earlier, Palob did jump over an obstacle earlier, didn't take any damage whatsoever, locked it with Kira. So really nice, like cheeky little upgrade there, Kira. Just lock an object, and then as you move through or shoot through it, you can ignore it, which is pretty cool. Ooh. Wes looks like he's going the whole way down the board and then going to come back round. Unfortunately, Gideon doesn't seem to have got the message, and he is definitely going to be taking some shots here. And I think that the rest of that Wing of Ties is going to be out of arc. Only going to be 1 shot from Wes this turn, which, not going to lie, really happy about. That definitely favours me quite strongly here. So first attack coming in, it's going to be Nim into Gideon, spending the lock, already forgetting about Drea. But that is that focus spent there. Might not be actually in range of Drea, so that could be there. Could have spent fire control and Drea instead of the target lock, but we do have veteran turret gunner, and dorsal turret is going to trigger. Closest is going to be that academy pilot, just the one, and natural evades. Exactly what you expect when you're coming up against TIE fighters. You don't exactly expect to be taking them out super quickly. And that looks like Drea is out of arc, so no worries there. Couldn't have used the reroll. But it is going to be Gideon going in Scourge. And there we go. When rolling evade dice, less is more, I find. So happy about that. Nothing from Boss. And a cheeky range 3 shot from Paylob there in the forward arc from Mordecrow. Going to get 3 dice. Let's see if we can get some damage through. Gideon does have Elusive as well, which is a favourite upgrade of... Oh, that's a nice shot. 2 hits and a crit. 4 green dice do have Elusive on there. Oh, who needs Elusive when you roll like that? That's... Hey, it's what happens. It would have been nice to get some early damage in there onto Gideon, but not to be. Now, that does bring us to a turn 2 score of 3-1 in my favour. Again, medium ships counting as 2 for holding objectives, and Gideon not quite being in range of that bottom left objective. So, good start for me there. Looking to see, will those TIE fighters do the big swing round? Probably come in as a line. Maybe if they do a... I'm just looking at some of those rear ones with a 2 hard might be fine, but maybe a 3 hard from all of them, bring them round is going to be quite scary. But let's see, the academies are going to lead the way. And it's a 1 hard. That's slightly unexpected. Maybe we're going to see Scourge leapfrog over the top. But when you're flying in a big formation like that, sometimes it's really tricky to know how to actually get them turned around. But essentially, if you're doing hard maneuvers, they all do the same hard maneuver. They'll stay in the same sort of orientation. So you see how the line is going down. It'll just be they'll be facing forward. So it would have been Yellow Academy and Scourge leading the line, with Mauler and Howlrunner just behind, and then the other Academy and Meeko behind them. Okay, a very big breakup of the formation there. Definitely haven't used that barrel roll to clear out of the way, because at this point, unless Wes has got this plan very well, there could be some bumps coming in. I'm a bit concerned there for that, but we'll have to wait and see. But short little move up there from Paylob. Keeping the focus from last time because of the Mordecrow. Able to keep up to 2 focuses with the Mordecrow there. Such a good ability. Getting you the forward primary weapon with 3 dice and being able to save up to 2 focus tokens a turn. But go with a different action there. Looks like a lock and rotate. Lapping again, coming up the board, getting that lock, knowing full well that heavy laser cannon will not be in line there because Gideon is still to move. And Bosk just sneaking in behind. Again, grabbing the early locks, fully aware that shots might not be a possibility here. And no space really for Drea. So Drea's just going to turn away. Focusing arc is still pointing to the left on Drea, so she will still be able to use her ability on any ships that are in there. Currently it's just the 2 academies that are out of her arc, so But here we go. Here's the rest of the moves. So far we've seen 2 moves that I would have anticipated, which is the 3 hard. And looking at the position of Meeko now, that 3 hard would have been quite nice. I think they would have been all in line there. All had shots towards Halob, Drea, depending on where Captain Nim ends up. Even with this barrel roll here to the right, they could have all moved out and then swung back in with bank maneuvers. But let's see. Oh, it is a bump from Gideon, forgetting that he's I4 and goes after Nim. Wholly okay with that. So does he take the red focus though? I think considering you've got 4 ships pointing at you, red focus is probably going to be advisable at this stage. There we go. And now it is Nim's turn to jump over. Now, I think we can all kind of see what's going to happen here. Nim has Genius, which is going to allow him to drop a bomb after moving. So here comes a thermal detonator. Do I double det and potentially run the risk of hitting my own ship, or looks like single detonator going down? Ideally, don't really want to blow my own ship up. I've heard that that's bad. But a nice little thermal detonator in there. Still got my action to take. And rotating the arc to the rear. Again, looks like Gideon is still going to be target priority #1 this turn. Unless Howlrunner really throws herself up into the mix, but I think it's going to be all in on Gideon. So let's see. Where does Scourge end up? That's going to be close to that obstacle. Oh, just about fits in there. So far, 4 out of 5 of that swarm have moved. The swarm is kind of broken up a little bit, but no bumps so far. Scourge pretty much only able to take a focus or an evade at this point, but probably going to be the focus. Now, the big concern is, do Mauler and Howlrunner... Oh, I don't think Mauler's going to fit in there. That is going to be incredibly close. No, Mauler is not fitting in there. That is a self-bump with some damage being taken as well. Very unfortunate there for Wes. But again, you know what? Flying swarms is harder than you think. The temptation to break that swarm, but here we go. Lovely. Howlrunner has managed to slot in there just nicely. So yeah, I think if we'd have seen the 3 hard from all of them, it would have been nice. Would have been a really good position for them all, but in the end, not too much in there. So let's see what this thermal detonator can do. For a reminder that for each focus token rolled, going to gain a strain, and a hit and a crit will do a damage for each matching result. And Nim is going to be using his charge to basically say no thank you. I'm not going to take any damage off that. But first, Palob is going to steal the focus off of Gideon there. So should have done the thermal depth first, because that's at the end of the activation. Then Palob is at the beginning of the engagement phase. So at the start of the engagement phase, you may choose one enemy ship in your firing arc at range 0 to 2. If you do, transfer one focus or evade token from that ship to yourself. Very scummy. Had that used against me so many times, thought, you know what, let's do it to someone else. And no damage or strain on to Gideon there. So far he seems to be immune to anything I can throw at him, but let's see if this continues. Dorsal Turret out the back of Captain Nim, forgetting the Drea reroll, but getting a crit through. Oh, but we've got an elusive roll. It's still a blank. The crit goes through onto Gideon, and that crit is going to be a console fire. Ooh, unfortunate there. Oh, it's fine. I get the console fire normally after the ship is already engaged, so at least this way that console fire could potentially still trigger. But we're looking at Scourge here. Now, Scourge, while you forward attack against the defender in your bullseye, roll one additional attack die. So just having a look to see if Palob was in the bullseye there. I don't think he was. Although that could be 3 dice, so I think it might have actually just clipped the bullseye. Ooh, hit, crit, reroll for Howlrunner. Going aggressive, spending that focus, absolutely. And natural evades. Gotta love it. Got to love it. The evade dice have been good so far. If we ignore Gideon's last evade, the evade dice have been pretty solid so far. Only 1 damage has actually gone through on attacks. So, Howlrunner. And Howlrunner can use the reroll herself. While a friendly ship at range 0 to 1, you are friendly to yourself and at range 0 of you. So 2 more going into Palob. Oh, Palob is going to take 1. Mauler Mithel, range 3. No bonuses here for Mauler. Has the reroll from Howlrunner crit already there? That's not bad at all. So just the crit, it is an unobstructed shot. There is the evade I need. And Swarm Tactics has been used on the 2 Academy pilots as well. Spending a focus. Really would like Palob to stay up. Also, Dead Man switch on there. Don't want Palob to die there. That would be bad for me. So moving on to the I4 step, Drea and Bosk up first. Might have been an idea actually to... No real need to Swarm Tactics Gideon there. Because he's still going to get to shoot. Even if he goes down, he's got no tokens, so he's still going to get to shoot. Actually works out slightly better for him probably to shoot at that point. Remembering the Drea reroll, 2 hits there. No, spending the target lock, forgetting the Drea reroll. I am doing great here with that. One of the downsides when you've got so many tokens, so many rules on the board, it's easy to forget. Even when you go, oh, I'm going to take Drea because I get that. So can Drea finish off Gideon here? Just double checking her card. Does she work for herself? And yes, Gideon does go down. The focus has been stolen by Pelob. Elusive has been spent. Gideon finally goes down. Console Fire might have done something, but it's okay. So Gideon is down. That's another 3 points on the board for myself there. But Gideon would have got to shoot back. So shouldn't have actually been taken off. He's actually in the I4 step. So Gideon should have got to shoot back there. So there we go. Mistake on both of our parts. Now just trying to see if... Looks like Meeko is out of range. Moving on to the I3s. Long range shot from Lapin. Looks like we're going to go into Scourge because he is the only target available at the moment. We're talking earlier about like the sort of target priorities. I think Scourge with swarm tactics is definitely like the third option there. But Gideon and Howlrunner, two powerful pieces that I wanted to get rid of. Got rid of Gideon. Howlrunner is ideally next, but Scourge is not going to go down like that with double evades. But you can't ask for too much. Had a good solid round so far, taking one TIE fighter down. What can Pelob do out of the side arc there? Reroll for Drea, spending the focus. 2 damage. Very impressive shooting there from those Scum ships. That is unfortunate for Wes. Taking a fair amount of damage there, and points wise, that's another 3 points for me. 1 more point for Wes. 9 points to 2 going into turn 3. This, though, could be the point where things start changing. Those TIE fighters are going to be able to get all 6 of them ideally into the fight. Can any of my ships cause a nuisance with some good blocks there? We have some thermal detonators being dropped. Seeing 2 charges flip. This is from Drea. Bit of a speculative one here. Anticipating that those TIE fighters are going to come in, maybe I catch them on the outside part there, but double drop from Drea. Really kind of wish I had a TIE bomber right now to be able to use their bendy template drop, which would have been really fun. But that is going to make Wes have a choice of how much does he... Where are his ships going? How much does he have to try and react to that? And currently, Academy number 1 is right by those thermal debts. Is he in the way of other ships moving in, though? That is the big question. It's a very awkward position to be in for that TIE fighter right now, because he probably, in theory, wants to barrel roll towards the middle of the board away from those thermal detonators, but there are 3 TIE fighters that is likely going to very negatively impact, so he's going to have to be really careful of that there. Which way is he going to go? Or does he stay there? Is that position actually fine? to stay there and go, you know what, I'm going to take 2 thermal detonators, but probably going to have a fairly decent shot on something here. Wes is having a very long think about this. Obviously, right now we don't know what the other ships are doing, so it's hard to formulate. Once we see what everything else does, sort of keep a mental note of where that TIE fighter was. So he has barreled up, which is good. Clears, likely to be able to clear that obstacle next turn, but it is going to be double thermal detonator, which won't actually kill. So that's also important to know. It's unlikely to kill. Academy number 2 slipping around there. Also barrel rolling across, well out of range of the thermal detonators there, so no issues there. And Paylob just jumping right in the middle, probably, hopefully, trying to cause some bumps there. Lapin swooping around, loving the ability to ignore obstacles when you fly over them. So with Lapin, while you move, you ignore asteroids. That might not be an asteroid though. Oops. But ignoring asteroids whilst you move over them with any ship is fantastic. So freeing, but you've got to remember that you can't, unless you're a droid, you can't land on them. Oh, but Bosk looks like he is about to land on Paylob. Snapshot triggering from Howlrunner there. So going to pull that focus token away because Lapin wouldn't have had it. Snapshot. And would appear we've got to edit those dice in, but double focus. So nothing to do there. You can't obviously modify a snapshot shot. But that is a little bit of damage on Bosk there. So, yeah. Unfortunate, but again, not in a terrible position there. Would have liked to have had a target lock there, because anticipating cluster missiles would have been quite funny in a moment. But let's see, what is Drea going to do here? Just the focus from Drea. Her arc is pointing ship left, so down towards those academies. So still going to be able to get some shots in. Still going to be able to provide that reroll benefit. Looking at the barrel roll that Second Academy did, I think that might have actually been necessary for Meeko to land that. Meeko also has snapshot, so it's really unfortunate that Wes has not had initiative so far, so that pretty much all of my ships have been able to move into position before Meeko is able to get into a nice spot. But if Meeko got there first, we would have had a double snapshot trigger. Which is, again, it's another talent that Wes has started to actually quite enjoy recently, is that snapshot. I do find that, like, some of our players, they have a tendency to lean towards specific upgrades, especially talents. Wes loves Elusive. He's really enjoying Snapshot recently. I'm a huge fan of marksmanship on my ships. Ben, for instance, he's a big fan of Predator. That seems to be a common one that he has. But Scourge just coming around there. Looks like the arc has been moved into ship left to point back in, just so he can keep some guns on target. Let's have a look here. What is Scourge doing? Is that going to be... Yes, that's very much going to be a bump in there. My target lock on Delmi on there getting right in the way. So bump there for Scourge right in the middle. But he's only got 1 health left as well. So the bump is into Paylob. We've got range 1 from Bosk and Lapin should we want it. Very limited space now for Howlrunner and Mauler to slip in. Mauler is on 2 health and Howlrunner is at full, but there's not a lot of space to actually get in there now. Let's see how well Wes has landed. I think that's a bump. That is a bump. Yep, so bump from Howlrunner into... That is 1 more damage. There's 1 damage on Howlrunner, so Howlrunner also down to 2 health. Mauler... A 3-bank's probably going to be alright for Mauler, actually. It looks like he's going to go right over the top. I think he's going to be fine, but we're just going to mark up so that we can actually do this. Yeah, so Mauler bumped last time, Howlrunner bumping this time. But we've got a lot of stuff in there. I think that lock might now be in the wrong... No, that lock is in the right place. It's still on Meeko. So just clarifying the health situation there for all those ships with Wes. So Scourge has 1. Mauler and Howlrunner both have 2. Meeko and the 2 Academy ties are still happy and full health at this point. Now, checking the thermal detonator going off there, definitely going to hit the Yellow Academy, but going to need to... Definitely going to have to mark him up just to see if we are going to be catching Mauler, because that could be very important. I think we do catch Mauler there. So the Academy takes 2. Takes them both. Academy is down to 1. And Mauler takes 1 as well. Mauler is also not having a great day at this point. So Mauler is down to 1 as well. So run through that again. Howlrunner on 2, Mauler on 1, Scourge on 1, Academy on 1, Meeko and the other Academy on 3. Paylob has stolen Mauler's focus token as well there. And Nim smells blood in the water. He is going to try and see if he can take out Scourge before any further actions. Scourge will still get to shoot though, because obviously we've got initiative 5s. And the result is Scourge has a focus. He's going to spend it, so he is still up. I mean, not unexpected, a little bit disappointing. Would have been nice to have taken him out. He would have still got the shot, but again. Now, I'm just rerunning through my health status for Wes, which is Bosk has taken 1, Palop's taken 1, and that is currently it. So he's got a range 1 into Lapin or a range 1 into Bosk, and with Scourge, Bosk is probably going to be the target because he's going to get an additional dice in the bullseye, so it'll be 4 dice into Bosk should he choose. Or is he actually going in for Palop? Could be Mauler Mithel here first, actually. Range 1 gets the additional dice at range 1. Oh, just the one. Evaded. Stealing that focus from him with Palop. Oh, it's horrible, but for me it was great. Oh, and that is definitely going to be Scourge into Bosk there. Double evades. Oh, my evades have actually just been, they've been really good. I mean, Wes has rolled actually pretty decent as well, but that is just unfortunate. I mean, no matter how well you played, that is going to be frustrating. Again, another poor roll. Hit crit though, and spending the focus on Palop. Oh, it's just being compounded here for Wes. It's just not going to plan, unfortunately. Again, getting all of those attack dice in, but the evades are just working. I can also imagine Wes would kill for a target lock here right now. And Bosk is going for the range 1 into Mauler. Hit crit, reroll from Drea. Double crit, sorry. Could this be Mauler Mithel down? Nope, Mauler Mithel survives that. The evades are waking up for Wes as well there. Drea now going to see, with the Dorsal Turret, is that going to be what seals it? 2 hits. And that... Oh, Elusive spend there. Elusive coming in clutch. That's why Wes likes to bring Elusive along. Elusive keeps your ships alive. So, Meeko now has a really nice range 1 into... Just double checking there. Meeko looks to have a range 1 into Palop. A bit close for heavy laser cannon. Or is he going to go heavy laser cannon into Bosk? Okay, he has got the heavy laser cannon. This might actually be into Palop. It might have been... Okay. 2 damage. That is 2 damage into Palop there. He has 2 hull remaining. Still 2 academies to shoot. Only one has an option of Paylob, but it is going to be the I3s next. So Paylob is going back into Mauler Mithel. It's just within the forward arcs. This is 4 dice. Drea reroll, no focus, no target lock. 2 so far, 3 so far. This needs to be a perfect roll from Mauler, otherwise he is going to be down and out. Mauler Mithel is down and out. That is another 3 points. That is a big shot, and not only that, that free's lapping up now. I mean, Mauler went in, Paylob went in for Mauler because it was going to be range 1. Didn't want to have the range 0. Lappin, range 1, no need for a focus, no need for a reroll. 3 hits. Again, no Elusive doesn't even exist here. Scourge needs perfect dice. And no, that is Scourge down as well. 6 points scored in that turn. That is a huge turn for me there. And by the look of it, I might be scoring another 3 points at the end of this, just to see how close Nim is to that objective. But academies are going to start doing work on Drea. Just the one out of range of Howlrunner, but that is a shield down on Drea, so... And range 2 into Paylob. 1. Again, possibly out of range of Howlrunner. But that is another damage into Paylob. Paylob is down to 1 hull at this point. So close to losing Paylob there, which would have been a big 5 points for Wes. But looking at scoring, Drea looks to catch that top one. So 17-3 in my favour going into turn 5. It's looking very tricky for Wes now. If I can get into a position just to hold 3 objectives or finish off the Academy or Howlrunner, that is going to be game. How many points, though, can Wes score back? Paylob is down to 1. So that's 5 points that Wes can score there with Paylob. I think the aim for him now is to see if he can get into those double figures, but let's have a look and see what we've got. So we have Paylob is dropping a seismic charge. This is a case of, yep, I've got a thing, I'm going to do a thing. This is more than likely going to be able to hit that Academy tie. I don't think there's really much he can do to get away from that. And just to see what we can do, also dropping some thermal detonators there, just on the off chance. So that is all of the thermal dets dropped from Drea, a seismic charge from Paylob, and we've got a thermal detonator from Nim as well. So basically saying wherever you want to go, you're probably going to find a device in your path. And that is Yellow Academy up there, who has already taken 1 damage. So coming in strong there. Potentially colliding into Bosk. So that academy will be going down. The seismic charge will go off. Either one it takes out is going to take out that academy. That's 2 points guaranteed there. And I think now looking at it, we know which one is going to be going down. That will be another damage on that academy when it comes to the end of the activation phase. The question is, where is Palob actually going to go? It's not got a lot of room. Palob is not going anywhere. Palob is self-sacrificing. Reminder, Palob has Dead Man Switch. So that is also going to be putting some extra damage in there. Jumping over with Lapin. Looks like that just missed the obstacle there. Chucking a target lock back just in case we need it for later. Bosk not going to clear. So Bosk colliding in with that academy there. Going to take the red focus. Drea getting right out of the way there, not liking any of what's happening. Out of range of snapshot from Howlrunner. Turning that turret arc, seeing can I actually still hit Howlrunner there. Oh, where is Meeko? Is Meeko even going to... I don't think Meeko is actually going anywhere. A lot of marking up happening here. Oh. Yeah, so if I don't think Meeko clears that at all. Double checking it though, this is important. No, Meeko not clearing through. That bump, however, is initiated by one of my ships, so Meeko is able to take that red focus token. Let's see, Scourge going to be coming around. Has several options there, and the turret arc is pointed up to the left as well. Where does Howlrunner end up? Howlrunner not in a terrible position, but could be hit by the seismic charge if I go in the right direction for that. Barrel rolling across, so out of dorsal turret range of Nim. Possibly out of range of that thermal detonator. Now remember, the seismic charge is under the yellow Academy TIE fighter at this point. Now, looking at it, I should have blown up the other obstacle. I got so focused on taking out that academy and damaging the other ones that I missed that I could have taken a Howlrunner out there. So, Yellow Academy goes down, Paylob goes down, White Academy takes the damage, Bosk takes the damage, Paylob Deadman switches, which does another damage on the Academy TIE Pilot and another damage on Bosk, putting Bosk up to 1. If I'd have gone the other way, Howlrunner would be down, Academy down, Paylob down, and then single damages on the Academy and Bosk, leaving them both on 2. So I feel, looking back at this, I did that the wrong way. But Howlrunner is also out of the fight. Could go down to this thermal detonator. Doesn't go down to the thermal detonator, so should have blown up the asteroid on the left-hand side. You live and you learn. Currently 19 points to 8. I've secured an objective, so going to be definitely getting 20 points at the end here. The big question is, do I take out any other ships here? So 1, 2, 3, 4 TIE fighters have gone down at this point. You know what? That's not bad at all. Coming up against 7 TIE fighters, I've been very fortunate with my green dice, and my munitions have done pretty well. But let's see. So Nim going into Meeko. Just the one. Evaded. That academy is going to live at the top. Nothing else can shoot there. Drea's arc is in the back, so can't shoot Howlrunner. It all comes down to Bosk into Meeko. No modifications. Meeko is going to live on full. Can Meeko, though, finish off Bosk? That is the question. I think we might have we missed Meeko's shot there? Oh. No, that was Meeko's shot. Sorry, just having a look to see if the Academy had a shot. So the Academy spending the focus, getting 2 and natural evades to round the game off. What a crazy game, very explosive. It's going to end 20 points to 9 in my favour. So much fun though. It was absolutely brilliant to see those TIE fighters on the board, so old school, having just a swarm of TIE fighters coming at me. Really had to think about that. Again, fantastic game up against Wes. Always a pleasure to have a game with Wes. But that is going to be your game this week, guys. A victory for the Scum. Down with the Empire? I'm joking. Love Empire, but victory to Scum there. Thank you to Wes for playing. It was brilliant. Guys, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time.